Hi, I'm Larry Farsakian, an endodontist practicing in the northern suburbs of Chicago. I've tried numerous rotary systems in over the 25 years I've been doing root canals. Most of them I try and move on, but not too long ago I had the opportunity to use the Pro Taper Gold instruments. Have you ever had a case where you went, whoa? This was one of those moments. Let me tell you about my very first case with Pro Taper Gold. The patient presented with complaints of sensitivity to cold and chewing. 2 months earlier, she had a new composite restoration placed. During my exam, I found that tooth number 30 exhibited an increased response from percussion, biting, and cold. But the tissue was healthy and stable without any pocketing. The radiograph showed some sclerosis within the chamber. All that added up to a diagnosis of subacute pulpitis with subacute apical periodontitis. One thing I want to quickly talk about is the anesthetic used in this case. Here I administered 1 carpule of 2% lidocaine with 1 to 100,000 epinephrine for the inferior alveolar nerve block and a half carpule of 4% articaine with 1 to 100,000 epinephrine for the buccal infiltration. The reason I mention this is that a number of clinicians don't do a buccal infiltration, but I find it very helpful and recommend it. I like it because the absorption into the bone is much greater and you will get much deeper anesthesia. Once occlusal access was made, I used a pulp shaper burr to get a good straight line access and good visualization of all the canals. I was able to scout the canals using glide file prep and a size 8 and 10 hand files. My working lengths were 23 millimeters for the mesial buccal and mesial lingual canals and 22 millimeters for the distal buccal and distal lingual canals. Once working length was obtained, it was time to establish my glide path. Because my number 10K file was pretty tight in all the canals, I used path files. I started with the size 13. This was taken to the apex in each canal. I followed it with the size 16 path file to complete the glide path. This is as much size as I would need for the Pro Taper Gold instruments because the tip of the S1 is smaller than the tip of the 3rd path file. A combination of glide file prep and sodium hypochlorite was used with the path files. I turned to the Pro Taper Gold file system to make my canal shapes. Here's the sequence I used. Of course, full strength sodium hypochlorite was used throughout the shaping procedure. I started with the Pro Taper Gold S1 using it in a brushing motion. 3 passes took me to length in each canal. The Pro Taper Gold S2 was next. It was also used in a brushing motion. Here again, I got to each apex in about 3 passes. The Pro Taper Gold F1 was easily taken to the apex with a few passes in each canal. Pro Taper Gold F2 was taken to the apex in all of the canals as well. I only used the Pro Taper Gold F3 in the distal canals. Again, I take about 3 passes each time I use the file in a canal before I remove it. With the finisher files, I used an in and out motion without brushing. EDTA was placed in each canal, and each canal was agitated for 30 seconds with an endoactivator. Full-strength sodium hypochlorite was then placed in each canal, and each canal was again agitated for 30 seconds with the endoactivator. I like to let the sodium hypochlorite work for about 10 minutes following filing and agitation. This is a perfect time to gauge the canals for obturation. My Gutta-Core verifiers told me that the canals were 25 in the mesials and 30s in the distals. After removing the sodium hypochlorite and re-irrigating with saline, I cleared the canals and put Q-Mix into each one. This was agitated for 30 seconds per canal with the endoactivator. After drying the canals, Thermoseal Plus was placed, and then the canals were filled with Gutta-Core. You can see the results. I'm happy with the outcome from a radiographic standpoint, and my patient is happy with a successful root canal. I was pleased with my first experience with the Pro Taper Gold instruments. They followed the canal almost effortlessly. It seemed to me that they flowed from one instrument to the next better than the ProTaper universal files. And the Gutta-core obturators revealed lots of intricate anatomy. It really was a whoa experience for me.